so rather we will keep, I mean, wait for a few hours.
But when your party chief himself says, sir, that anything is possible, anything to keep the BJP out, how do we interpret it? He's not being overly diplomatic there.
No, I'm not here to make a comment on what my party chief says. Ultimately, the High Command will take a decision, and the decision will not be taken in the studio. Let the result.
Okay, will you agree with the sentiment? Anything to keep the BJP out?
I mean, we have been fighting with this communal forces. That is our stand. But that does not mean we are going with Mayawati.
Okay. Is Rajiv Gowda still with us? Okay, we'll just check. Barka Meena, go ahead.
No, just to come in with a bit of information, I do know that there are SP Congress planners who are keen for an RLD to be part of the Gathbandhan, were keen for even a JDU because they wanted to target the non-Yadav OBC vote to get some percentage of seats there, and there was an exasperation that the Congress in a sense was not willing to yield that because of its insistence on this 105 number. And I do want to ask that or put that to Rajiv, that Rajiv, it's quite clear that if these numbers play out this way and the aggregate, while still not predicting a full majority for the BJP, is giving them a higher chance than any other party. Looking back, this Gathbandhan needed to be a Mahagathbandhan. It needed some other caste groups to be part of it. And that is where the failing seems to have been for the Congress to insist on this 105 out of sheer prestige, not winnability capacity.
Yeah, pre-factor, post-factor. Rajiv Gowda still with us? Can you hear us?
I thought he was there. Is he there?
Okay, he's just left. Priya, why don't you take that thought? Is it possible a pre-factor Gathbandhan needed to be wider? That's what they did in Bihar, or a better option for them?
No, absolutely. In fact, I agree with Barkha. A lot of Samajwadi Party workers have been complaining at this, what they call the Congress's arrogance. I was, in fact, with Akhilesh after the second phase, and some Samajwadi Party leader came up saying that the Congress ne aadhi list candidates nahi declare kar rahe, and he said, this party is really confused. This was, of course,
okay. Abhishek Manu Singhvi joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Singhvi, good evening, sir. This is the straightforward caveat we've already put out, that these are still hypothetical figures and it could go plus minus 10-15 seats either way. But as the trend goes to a hung house in UP, is the Gathbandhan formula with Mayawati, perhaps as her as the head of the Gathbandhan, something that you would be amenable to? Because Akhilesh has just hinted that he won't mind.
Well, I think first and foremost, this is entirely speculative. Remember what the exit polls did for Bihar? They gave 110, 130 to the Bihar Mahagathbandhan. We got 180. Remember what happened in Tamil Nadu? So number one, it's really speculative. Number two, do you think Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah did not have a desperate look in the last few days and weeks? Clearly that of a loser. So I think this alliance will get majority, otherwise at least single largest, certainly very close to majority. Now, answering your hypothetical question, I personally think it's highly remote, speculative, hypothetical, doesn't need to be answered. But yes, I mean, if it's a truly hung, and this is now on the assumption that your figures are anywhere near correct, that it's a truly hung house, then I think only on the principle of an overriding, nobody wants a second election kind of thing, some kind of an uneasy workout would have to be made, which really is an unfortunate last solution, but would be possible in case nothing else is there.
Okay, I'll hang on those words. Barkha, go ahead.
Abhishek, hi, it's Barkha here, and you've pretty much given us our news point, because you just said the last option to keep the BJP out or to avoid president's rule or a fresh election would be to look at the Mahagathbandhan that in fact should have been part of the pre-poll scenario. And I was just saying two questions for you. One, if it comes to supporting Mayawati as chief minister, if there is that compulsion, would the Congress be willing to do it? Because we all remember the joint press conference with Akhilesh where Rahul praised Mayawati. Question two, if these numbers are correct, do you believe it was a mistake to not take the RLD, the JDU, to expand your caste groups? You counted frankly only on the Muslim Yadav combine, and that may not have taken you past the 30% mark that you so needed to go past to win an election in UP.
Barkha, first of all, I implore you to put all the caveats and the precursors and the prefixes I put, because
health warnings all done.
Since for the past 2 hours,
all health warnings done.
Is very misleading. I am nowhere contemplating. I am nowhere contemplating. I am nowhere contemplating a Mahagathbandhan. I am nowhere contemplating a Mahagathbandhan with the BSP, which is what that line will sound like.
Yes.
But anyway, having said that, I think it's easy to be wise by hindsight. Nobody makes a Mahagathbandhan with the BSP on the basis that, this alliance will not work. But I think on all the assumptions and the prefixes and all the caveats I've put, in the event of an actual genuine hung house,
Yes.
Okay.
and nobody, including the BJP, wanting a second set of polls, I think obviously, you know, politics
Okay, that
abhors
begs-
a vacuum. And there cannot be a vacuum. There has to be some governance. You can't have presidents rule indefinitely.
So you've said
after
it.
fresh
Okay.
elections.
So okay, that's
said it.
we'll make our interpretations of
I
it.
don't at all see it as a real
You have
possibility.
said
I
it,
don't think
Abhishek.
Congress
We'll
will
make
be
our
happy at
interpretations
it.
of it, Abhishek Manu
And,
Singhvi. I'm pretty sure you also know you've been as clear as you could possibly be. Let's not extrapolate. Let's get to the brass tacks. We've been discussing here that if it happens, can it work out for 2019? Priya Sehgal, you wanted to come in 2019. Can the formula work out in terms of Lok Sabha computations for this Mahagathbandhan?
You know, again, we'll come to the question of leadership. Will Mamta and Akhilesh, or even Nitish Kumar, will they accept Rahul's leadership at the end of the day? Congress, yes, can be the glue that brings various parties together. But again, in terms of leadership, I'm really, that's where they're going to be
So I'm
same
gonna pick
problem
that
as
point,
United Front.
Go to Abhishek Manu Singhvi back, then to Shahadi Chari, and then back to the table. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, a Mahagathbandhan in UP, we've had one in Bihar. Are we looking at one potentially with the Congress as the glue for 2019? Doing the Lok Sabha calculations in advance, sir, is not so far off anymore.
I think we are of course entering into the very remote realm of high speculation, but let me tell you that the paramount need of the hour, which is felt by at least 10 to 12 parties across the national spectrum, political spectrum, is that the arrogance, the sheer arrogance, the sheer sense of infallibility, the intolerance, the kind of attitude of the BJP has to be combated at every level. And if push comes to shove, and I repeat the caveat, if absolutely everything else fails, as a last resort, in case there is a vacuum, in case there is impossibility and a second
10
election
to
stares
12.
you in the face in 2019, then yes, Congress is the truly oldest national
Okay, so 10 to
All
12
India
and you would
party,
be the glue.
which
All
will
right, I'll
be,
get Mr. Chari a
bringing
chance
you together.
to step in.
Now,
Shahadi
what the
Chari, come in, then I
combinations
go
will
across
be,
the
the
table.
numbers will be accepted.
Oh, fair enough. Caveats put, sir. Fair enough. The caveats are put. Shahadi Chari, you respond, then I go across the table.
Any chances of all these parties? I mean, even if you go by Abhishek Manu Singhvi's own presumption that all the parties are looking for an alternative to Narendra Modi and therefore they will all come together, I don't see that happening. And the Samajwadi Party has already realized the futility of tying the albatross around its neck called the Congress. So whatever losses that Samajwadi Party is going to sustain in UP, it is all going to be because of the Congress. And Congress has not
Okay, Shahadi
benefited
Chari,
out of
you're
anything
applying the third front
in
logic that
UP
if
in
that
any
failed,
case.
they couldn't figure out who's going to lead it. Congress certainly can. Madan Alpat, come in, please.
You know, I just want to say that it's going to be
No,
a bit difficult.
I don't think Nitish Kumar and all other people or even Mamta is going to accept the Congress leadership or Rahul
Okay,
Gandhi
it's
as their
tricky.
leader.
It's tricky, sir.
So this is
But
absolutely
nobody could have
no-
predicted
no
Bihar, and
alternative
certainly
at
UP
all.
is still in
No
question.
alternative
Fair enough,
at
sir.
all.
You made your point.
So,
Fair enough, Madan Alpat.
Rishabh, I just want to make 2 points.
Yeah.
One, Rahul Gandhi is still relatively young in terms of, for example, the BJP
What is he,
leadership.
44?
So he can wait one
46,
election
I
out.
would say.
It does make he can do it. So look, so I'm not ruling it out that he would do the smart thing and say that look, hand over the baton to somebody else. But I want to make the point that I think it's very unlikely that SP and BSP are going to be able to come together in 2019. Both are eyeing a very significant vote bank, which either of them is going to get, one or the other, because if there is going to be a divisional vote bank and BJP does very well, I think they're going to realize very clearly it should not happen. If you repeat Assam and UP, they'd want to make sure it's not repeated in 2019. So that's point. Second point is division of Lok Sabha seats. Mayawati will want the lion's share, Akhilesh will want the lion's share. So these two people coming together in the long run, look, for 2019, I don't know.
Quickly, I want to just get the Samajwadi Party, gentlemen, in Rajiv Rai. When it comes to an idea, push comes to shove, as Abhishek Manu Singhvi says, last resort, as he says, 10 to 12 parties coming in just to keep Modi out. Tempted?
Yeah, I still believe, again, I'll repeat the same thing. We are still confident of forming our own government. And
Yeah,
this
but
idea,
what about
this
looking
idea
ahead,
has
sir?
never,
Looking ahead for
let me be
2019,
honest, this idea has never crossed our mind. There was, at no point of time there was any discussion about this, that if this happens, what will be the next course of action. So we'll cross the bridge when it comes. We have not yet thought of, so it will be very premature for me to make a comment.
It's not even
here.
crossed your mind. Okay, it's not even crossed your mind. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Tandon. Yeah.
See, Modi would be the happiest person if this kind of Mahagathbandhan takes place.
Why?
First in UP, because till the 1990, all the contradictions will come out. See, even what is happening in Bihar, the contradictions are already out. In fact, Nitish is trying to move closer to NDA. So therefore, if there is any Mahagathbandhan in run-up to 2019
it'll
against
push
Modi,
Nitish closer, okay?
Modi will be the happiest person.
Okay,
Because he will then expose the contradiction within.
Okay, all right. I just quickly want to get Radhika into this
Yeah,
conversation.
I think it depends.
Is that a factor? They like each other's
I'm looking
anti-prohibition policies?
No, I look at it from a different perspective. It depends on the threat perception of a BJP repeat in 2019.
Yes.
I think many of these parties would not want to see Mr. Modi or the BJP back in power.
5 years
again.
of Modi would actually wipe out whom? Who is got the most to lose in 2019?
I think Congress.
Okay, ironically is the Congress. Okay, let me quickly rope in Abhishek Manu Singhvi once again. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the other big state, of course, is Punjab, where you're expected to do a lot better. It might not be a clear run, but it's definitely one with a feather in your cap there. Do you think Punjab makes up for whatever's been happening around India, sir, for this long?
Look, what's happening, let's look at your polls and assume them. Of course, this is a very, very wrong assumption because there are lots of contradictions. The very fact that your polls on different people, different exit polls are so divergent shows the inherent uncertainty of them. But look at them. Punjab, I can wager a bet with you that we are a winner, and the BJP Akalis are not going to lose, they're going to be wiped out. Uttarakhand, I concede, is going to be close. It's probably going to be BJP victory on the polls basis. But the closest ever on a repeat government is the Harish Rawat's attempt this time. Manipur, I can tell you we're going to win. Goa will be extremely close. So that leaves UP. UP, I have no doubt in my mind that if by chance, I'm looking at the worst case scenario, we don't become a party with a majority, we are going to be the single largest alliance. So how does it look bad? I don't understand.
Okay.
How does it look bad?
Okay, it's only rainbows. Barka, go ahead.
No, Abhishek, these numbers do not...
Barring Goa and Uttarakhand.
Abhishek, these numbers do not give the alliance the single largest numbers. The alliance per these numbers is not ahead of the BJP. What these numbers suggest is there was no leher, there was no wave. This was not a wave election, which we've been saying throughout. This is an election of arithmetic. The BJP will do much better than its performance in 2012, but benchmarked against 2014, it has come down in vote share if these numbers are correct. Now, I'm putting that health warning again and again, but I am asking you, look at a scenario where the Gathbandhan is behind the BJP. The Gathbandhan is behind the BJP. What do you do then? What are your options then?
I am looking at that scenario only. I am saying A, that is wrong. I am saying the Gathbandhan is the single largest. B, let's look at your figures. Your figures are giving wide ranges. There's a poll I saw giving a range from 155 to the BJP.
That's what...
That's not ours. We have 180 and 120, sir, either way.
Yeah, that's not ours, yeah.
155.
Okay,
The
but
ranges are very misleading.
no, fair enough, sir. But fair enough. But the question coming your way was that this is not an anti-vote against the
I'm saying many
BJP, sir.
polls are giving that. Number three.
Yeah.
Number three. No, obviously it's an anti-vote. Look at the figures. From 10% lead in 2014, they would have gone down by at least 6, 7, 8%. That's not an anti-BJP vote, you think?
Now,
You have to compare with the last benchmark.
Abhishek Manu Singh is not a leap of imagination to say a national poll is fought slightly differently.
Let's face it, 2014 was a Modi wave. Now today, you are down considerably because that's the last benchmark you have.
Okay, that's the last benchmark. Let's quickly inject one more benchmark. I'm running short of time and we'll come back on this. Ridanshu standing by. He's got a couple more figures. Goa, again very interesting, again enigmatic. The exit polls are a lot closer to call this time around. Ridanshu, what's happening in Goa?
Thanks indeed, Rishabh. Now, Goa is quite complicated because not only is it a hung house, but there are also more than one possible kingmakers involved here. Now, of course, the figures right now had in 2012, the BJP was in a clear majority. But in 2017, the BJP, while again being the single largest party, is quite short of the halfway mark of 21 required. It's got 15. Now, the MAG, which has flirted with the possibility of aligning with the BJP before, has 2. And there are about 6 independents and smaller parties also, which together can take it beyond perhaps the halfway mark. Now, the Congress on the other side has 10 and the Aam Aadmi Party has 7. Critically, Rishabh, A, the Aam Aadmi Party cannot form a government without the BJP or the Congress. It does not have enough smaller parties with it. And the Congress too will have to team up with the Aam Aadmi Party if it wants to form the government in Goa.
If we stick to this, so this is another complicated scenario, and let me quickly rope in. Okay, let me quickly rope in Madhav Nalpat again. Madhav Nalpat again, a third state, again too close to call. Is it just the time of the year?
Well, as Barka keeps saying, there's a health warning and all this.
Yeah, fair enough.
But so I just want to say that my view is, frankly, that you are probably going to be surprised, and you are probably going to get majorities for single parties in many of these contests.
UP as well?
Okay.
You're probably going to get a single
Rishabh, if I may
majority.
if I may come in on Goa, barring the last election, Goa has always been a hodgepodge of independents and single member parties and so on. So you're seeing a very familiar scenario on the ground where this Babush, Montserrat and players like those, they are going to call the shots.
And
So it depends.
this time, if I may add,
Yeah.
MGP and BJP
Didn't fight together, and there was an RSS.
Okay.
And there was an
Quickly, I
RSS
just want to
breakaway
comment.
Yeah, Priya, go ahead. Then I want to
just
inject one more question.
I
before
got a
we wrap up.
reaction
Yeah, go
from the SP on this comment of Akhilesh, and they are saying that Akhilesh may have said this. A, it was in response to a hypothetical question.
Yes.
B, he may have said it to keep his flock together because they would be
so
poaching by the BSP.
We're coming back
so it
exactly
could be a
the argument
tactical
you were
comment.
having. Okay, it's a practical comment,
Tactical
comment, keeping your flock together. You don't want 2/3 of them to ditch you. That will be rather embarrassing. Shadri Chari, Goa, sir, it is perhaps not as clear as you would hope it to be, sir.
No, I think the results in Goa will be very favorable to the BJP. Fortunately for the BJP, the introduction of Aam Aadmi Party in Goa is going to seriously hurt the Congress. If the Congress had patched up with Aam Aadmi Party and tried to keep them out, if the Congress had told the Aam Aadmi Party to concentrate only in Punjab and not enter Goa, it would have been better. So Goa is going to be a very clear picture where BJP will emerge as the single largest party and BJP will be in a very comfortable position. I see BJP crossing the 21 mark which they had last year.
All right, hopefully. Barkha wants to come in. Go ahead.
BJP could probably even end up with 30 seats.
30 would be okay. All right. And anything is possible. Barkha, go ahead.
My question is both to Seshadri Chari and Abhishek Singhvi looking at Punjab. Is there a sense that while both of your parties agree on almost nothing, you would prefer one or the other to to form government in Punjab than Arvind Kejriwal, and therefore we could even look at a scenario where some MLAs of the Akalis could break away if necessary to support a Congress government? That Seshadri Chari, you would prefer that to an Arvind Kejriwal-led Punjab government? Politics makes for strange bedfellows, as the cliche goes.
No, the biggest problem or probably the biggest minus point for Aam Aadmi Party is Arvind Kejriwal himself.
But he's winning, but he's getting them traction. If these numbers are correct, they've done well in Punjab. If these numbers are correct, their vote share is the highest of all parties.
It's not the question of, no, the question is Aam Aadmi Party is not a political party led by Arvind Kejriwal. If Arvind Kejriwal is going to lead Aam Aadmi Party, I will be very happy, because he is a washout. The problem with Punjab is we are putting too much on one individual. If at all Aam Aadmi Party is going to get a few seats in Punjab, it is not because of Arvind Kejriwal, but in spite of him.
In spite of
Therefore, I am not looking at Arvind Kejriwal as a challenge,
that's
not
answer, but
only to BJP, but not even to the Congress.
Okay, let me flip the question around. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Aam Aadmi Party have been a sort of a stumbling block in Goa. Rightly so, they've eaten into something at least, if not a lot. They have become your principal contenders in Punjab. Otherwise, Punjab would have been a cakewalk potentially for you. Are they your enemy in these two states? And will you be willing to cobble together a few other MLAs in Punjab to form a government?
I have two answers. Number one, it's an irrelevant question because we are going to be a winner all the way in Punjab. Take it from me, and in fact, possibly the Badal party is going to disintegrate. There will be a big misfortune on the BJP having aligned with them and kept with them till the end. So that, I think, is a rather hypothetical question. Secondly, if it comes to attain any reasonable figure for the Aam Aadmi Party, they will still be very much in the opposition. There's no question of speculating on things like joining up with Badals or BJP to keep the Aam Aadmi Party back. I think that is not the kind of politics, that degree of politics we're not going to be able to play there. We'd rather sit in the opposition if that misfortune occurs, but I don't think we're anywhere near that.
Okay, so I've got a couple of minutes.
Let me tell you, from the figures you are saying,
Yeah.
it's going to be a truly hung. Although I don't accept it.
I've got a
I
couple
don't
of minutes.
accept it.
Okay, I've got a couple of minutes. Another exit poll has come our way, which is
It's
saying
going more hung than all the other
Axis
hungs.
is giving a BJP sweep in
is
Uttar Pradesh.
is
So
giving
we
a
just
BJP, yeah, exactly.
looking for
Axis
those
is giving a
numbers.
BJP sweep in UP. Okay,
Axis,
they are.
Axis.
No, but Madhav Nalpal, just I've got a couple of minutes. When you're talking about the Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, how do we assess this election from their point of view?
Look, I'd like to say that there is a young India. The country is basically a young country.
Yeah,
It's
27
an
is the median age,
aspirational country. It needs jobs. It's not getting jobs. Even the last 2.5 years, frankly, it has not got jobs. And that's why you're seeing a Jat agitation and a Patel agitation and so many other agitations coming up. So from that point of view, Aam Aadmi Party is definitely going to be a very important challenger even to the BJP. So far exit polls are concerned, if you recall, I was for a long time predicting a pretty bad show for the BJP in Bihar, and I was laughed at when the exit polls came out because most of them showed a very good show for the BJP in Bihar. So I would again repeat Barkha's
2009, yeah, 2009 was of course the
I'm talking about the Bihar exit poll.
Hartosh Singh will come in. I mean, just on Kejriwal, how does he see now these elections if he just perhaps falls short of the mark in Punjab?
Look, I think either way the Aam Aadmi Party will come away very happy and literally on a roll, because there are other states where they're looking to establish a presence. To say in Punjab Kejriwal was a handicap is actually, I don't even know where to begin. It is around Kejriwal that the hope of an alternative in Punjab came. If anything stands in the way of that government in Punjab is that in the 2 years they had since the Lok Sabha election, they have not been able to extend their organization into the Majha region of Punjab. Otherwise, this government was theirs for the taking.
Okay,
And
but Barkha,
it is only a matter of time when that
Barkha,
happens.
do you agree with the premise that is actually the Aam Aadmi Party that's damaged Congress prospects in Punjab, one for example, perhaps even in Goa?
Well, of course, the fact of the matter is that Kejriwal and the Congress are in competition for the anti-BJP vote.
Exactly.
So obviously, more than the BJP, it's the Congress that needs to worry about Kejriwal because they're targeting the same base. In Punjab, you could argue that the Congress has held its own and it's actually people disenchanted with the BJP who've gone to Kejriwal. But seen from a prism of national politics, they are in competition for the anti-BJP vote. But I do need to flag here, we're waiting for fresh figures, Rishabh, maybe we can get them on UP because there is one agency, one exit polling agency that is giving a very, very clear victory to BJP in Uttar Pradesh, and adding those numbers to our aggregate could change the picture of this hung assembly scenario.
They haven't yet announced the figures yet.
Yeah, but that's what's coming out.
It will change the picture
and our conversation therefore.
And Saturday will definitely change the picture.
Yes.
Rishabh, to get back to
Mr.
Punjab,
Kapoor,
what Barkha was
go ahead.
saying, I think 2 months before the poll in Punjab, Congress was doing pretty well. It is the uncertainty, the factionalism, the Bajpa faction, bothering on ticket distribution, Rahul Gandhi keeping the leadership, chief minister's question open. I think it was an election which Congress lost badly only because till the last moment. You remember that in Amritsar posters came up of Navjot Sindhu being projected as a...
Because the Congress had, they had it loose, sir. Fair enough. But fair enough. If they slip in, they'll consider this as a loss. But of course, Abhishek Manu Singhvi insists that it is in one
But it was theirs to lose. And just a little bit of more information that's come in, that Sonia Gandhi is not here. She's gone abroad till the 21st. So that's also very interesting given the fact that, we were thinking she would be the one playing the role of a Mahagathbandhan, the chief architect. Mamata Banerjee seems to have taken over that role.
Also, the poll of polls, even without the Axis agency, is again giving Abhishek and Seshadri Chari, this is relevant for you, giving the BJP plus 190 to 210, Abhishek Singhvi. So in that case, they are within striking distance or quite comfortably if they cross 200. If they cross 200,
they need 202.
or even if they hit 190, 190 is good enough.
I'm running short of time. I just want to quickly get in a word from Priya and Madhav Nalpal. Priya, in case there is a situation where it doesn't go all the way in 2 or 3 states, delay favors whom?
Yeah, I think Abhishek was trying to respond to that. Yeah. Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Singhvi. Go ahead.
Barkha.
Yes.
Barkha.
Yes.
I want you to consider. I want to consider one thing. And this is important. Opinion polls are worse than exit polls. Exit polls in India are much worse than exit polls in Europe and America because of lack of homogeneity. But Uttar Pradesh of all people, remember your 2009 exit polls, remember your Bihar exit polls. Please never forget them. In UP in particular, 5,000 candidates, over 13-15 crore people voting. I don't know how many diverse regions. If this kind of polling is correct, that BJP is getting an absolute majority, the very divergence in your exit poll shows how unreliable they are for a diverse state like UP.
So you're not buying it?
I think to kind of go
but
by
for the
this is
BJP to
ridiculous.
even be in striking distance, Mr. Singhvi,
the BJP
is a striking change from what has
itself,
happened in the past
I think
30 years.
The most positive, everybody knows and you as journalists know, you talk to the BJP walas, the most positive and optimistic estimate they give is a distant single largest and nowhere crossing 175. That's
Okay,
what they say themselves.
nowhere crossing.
And
would
here
you
this
be
poll is
fine?
giving 210
Shashadri Chari, I'm
to
just coming to you, Mr. Kapoor.
I
Shashadri
don't
Chari, would you be
understand how
fine?
these polls are giving.
Would you be fine in no government being formed in UP? Would that work out fine for you?
No, I don't think so. I think BJP is going to be crossing 200 mark. I'll tell you one thing. UP has a very unique way of functioning. So far in UP, every election, one party or the other has always swept the polls. It was Samajwadi Party, it was Bahujan Samaj Party, it was the Congress, it was the BJP. The UP has always voted in favor of one party. UP has never probably had a hung assembly. And the worst case, in the worst case scenario, UP has already had a government of BJP, and also we have worked together with Mayawati. So I don't
you're
see
also not
any
ruling it out.
reason why there should be
I
a
think
hung
what we've heard from
assembly in
Akhilesh
UP.
has...
And more importantly...
Because Mayawati, Rishabh, looks like it.
Yeah, well,
Exit polls are
I'm
correct
sure
in
she would
Punjab.
have been
They
a
have
winner
to be
in
correct
her
in
own
UP
right.
also.
But she's not perhaps
You
not the
cannot
biggest
say
loser.
that
Okay, I'm
any
out of time. I need to
exit
take a
poll that
2-minute break.
says
But
Congress
I just want to make
and-
one small point about what Abhishek said about the exit polls only in India. He just saw what happened in the US. So after that...
All right, okay, somebody's got to pay for those exit polls, so we need to take a 2-minute break. We're back in 2. Stay with us.